Okay, in this video, no mask, no service. Yeah. So, I went to the post office yesterday, just like I normally do. I was in there last week, and they got a sign in the lobby, no more than 3 people, which the post office is small in my town. So generally, other than Christmas or something, there's never more than 3 people in the damn lobby anyway, okay? Or at the window. So I go up there, they got the sign there. But when I walked in, now they got plexiglass shields, and there's another sign. It says, unless you're wearing a mask, you can't be served. And I'm like, oh crap. So the woman there behind the counter knew me. I just come and drop a package off. So she takes it, she was just going to take it and let me go, okay? But then I said, look, I need something. And that's when I got her flustered, and she starts twitching and everything, and got all worked up because I'm disobeying this sign. And I said, I need a booklet of stamps. She goes, well, you have to cover your face. Or I can't do this. You have to cover your face somehow, anything. Even if you pull your shirt up like this. So I had to stand there with my fucking shirt over my face while she fumbles through and gives me $11 worth of stamps. Okay. This whole thing kind of pissed me off. It's like, all right. I don't wear a mask. I don't believe in it because I don't believe it's going to protect me. And that's where, when I said this in the last video, someone sends me a comment saying, well, the mask is not to protect you, it's to protect others from you, you disease-bearing bastard, from spreading the virus. Okay, so with everything going on, we're all waiting for the restrictions and the stay-at-home order crap to be lifted. And now what they're doing is they're pulling a fast one, and this is where I guess the stay-at-home was to give them time to implement their plans, because now you are going to see where all of this crap is going, and it ain't good. They'll let you go into these places, but it is required that you wear a mask, okay? Or you can't go in, which is a form of discrimination. And the reason is because without wearing the mask, you can spread the coronavirus. So you are, number one, a threat to the general public not wearing a mask. You are disobeying a civil order. And basically kind of rounding into it, you're an enemy of the friggin' state under this new fascist type of system of government where without even a single shot being fired or a law being passed, we have lost all our freedoms, our constitutional rights, and just the freedom of mobility. Okay? It's gone. All right? Now they're showing not only that with this mask crap, because it's up to you, wear the mask, don't wear the mask, but it's being required now. They're going to lift restrictions, you can go out, but you have to have a mask. So if you don't wear a mask, like I said, you looked at, and you're up for public shaming and all this other stuff, and causes more anxiety and that. But I don't believe I should have to wear a goddamn mask to go into a store. Okay, I don't care. Next, we go to the protests. So you have the people protesting, small business owners, okay? You have, what the hell else was there? Oh, you got the armed militias, them fellas. Always fun to see them. So it started in this state on Tuesdays with the small business owners saying, hey, look, lift the restrictions, let us get back to work. We're going broke here. We're going bankrupt. Then there was on the news Friday, a group of guys with assault rifles and in camouflage uniforms showed up somewhere in Raleigh and were standing in the park. And of course then it then it starts. Everyone gets all worked up in that and everything. Which that their Second Amendment or whatever, I believe in it, and those people standing there, if I walk by, wouldn't bother me, okay, in the least. I understand where they're coming from, and I understand the point they're trying to make. But, on the other hand, common sense dictates that when people are already frightened and nervous, there are people that a show and display like that really frightens them even more, okay? Basically, I believe in defending the Constitution. I believe in defending my home, family, property, and country. But to intimidate or upset the general populace is not what I really want to do. Those fellows should wait until the time comes where they show up with their guns and use them, okay? Not just standing there in broad daylight, as a sign of, solidarity or whatever. But, so you had armed people with guns protesting. You had the people whose livelihoods are being wiped out, I don't think they're armed, but they're losing everything they got. So they're there. That's one group. You got the militia people, okay, because the reason they're kind of coming out is the government is taking control. We're losing our civil liberties. So this is why this group has come out, okay, to tell them we're still here. All right? Then I found out, and out of all the places, based out of San Francisco, there is the anti-vaccine movement. This is something new. It's a group of people. Most of the photographs were women that were protesting the demand, probably because a lot of them have children, and school children are required to be vaccinated or they won't be allowed into the schools. So this is a big political thing in some areas about this. So now there's an anti-vaccine movement, which they're saying that the government and whatever hell they're forcing you to be injected into you is wrong. So what's happening is all of this stuff is falling into place. They will lift restrictions if you still abide by restrictive rules. In other words, you wear a mask. They've already developed a camera that if you walk through it, like at the airport, a metal detector, they're going to have a camera that scans your face, and it shoots a little infrared thing here in the corner of your eye by your tear duct. And that is how this camera can instantly tell your body temperature. Okay, not from your forehead, not from here, or sticking a thermometer under your mouth. This thing scans you, hits the corner of your eyeball where the tear duct is, and it takes an instant reading of your body's core temperature. Okay, they've been designing this. I've seen how this thing works. So now, not only got to wear a mask, but you're gonna, if you go through a checkpoint, okay, and they catch you with a fever, okay, you could have just ate something with Texas Pete's hot sauce on it or something. I don't know, raise your core temperature. But now you're going to be detained. You're going to be tested. That's another thing. They haven't really, they're not mentioning this test kits. They're trying to get them in production, and I don't know. I know the one for the flu, like you go to urgent care, they swab your sinus cavity and pull it out, and they come back in 15 minutes. Well, the one they had developed for the coronavirus, I guess they do the same thing, but it takes like 5 or 6 days. So they're trying to get some kind of a kit that does it faster and get these test kits out. They just got to produce them. And then the thing is false positives. All right, remember that, false positive, because it's going to come into play here. So now they're going to start testing people. So now they got to wait. If you walk past some kind of a friggin' sensor, camera, whatever, they're going to know you got a fever. So there ain't no weaseling out of it. If you're at a checkpoint, they're going to get you. Okay? And probably like me, I'm not allowed to go into any place without wearing a mask, okay? So I'll probably just, that's easy. They see me walking down the street without a mask on, they can get me then. Then they got me. All right, so say they go, they catch you with a fever, they test you, and you come back positive with the coronavirus. Now they just had it on the news that they're hiring thousands of people to be contact tracers or something like that. So now, if I am found to have the coronavirus, I'll be tagged and registered like an animal under study. And they have a whole network of people who, I guess, using my cell phone as a locationing device or being interrogated as to my whereabouts and where have I've been, that they have to go and anyone I had contact with has to be checked. Okay, they're going to go and look, track my movements, check all these people out. So even though they're lifting the stay-at-home order, if you go somewhere to the store, if you talk to your neighbor, okay, and say unfortunately the person comes down with an illness, now I'm going to be investigated, even sick or not sick, I'm in the contact list, and they're installing a network to track the movement of every citizen. Now I'm kind of seeing why these militia guys are showing up. They said they're going to do it with your cell phone. Then, of course, there's the wonderful people who just want to embed a chip in the base of your skull so they can tell where you are all the time. There's a lot of people that said the social distancing is so that a satellite can, distinguish who's who. If we're in a group closer than 6 feet, they can't do that. How much truth there is to it. But now you're looking at it, it kind of makes sense. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But so now we're moving into this fascist military police state where there's going to be checkpoints, which some of them are. I know if you drive across the Florida border and you're from New York, you're removed from, taken to a side thing like crossing an international border to be inspected or tested. You got North Carolina plates and that, you got a driver's license, they just let you go through. So now we're going to start seeing that. Then it's going to be, unless you wear a mask, can't go in here, can't go in there. Mask thing, some places, some retailers, well, if you don't have a mask, I'll sell you one so you can stay in the store. And then when I was leaving the post office, I seen a sign, masks for sale, $6 each. So already, the little country store, some guy selling, I don't know if he sells fruits, vegetables or something, he's already into the mask thing. Up in New York, my mother said outside the grocery store, you couldn't go in without a mask. There was a guy standing there sell you one for $20. So there you go. But anyway, getting back on how they're going to track this, and this is where they're going on. So not wearing a mask is the first identifier. They know that you're an enemy to state like myself when they see you walking down the street or driving your car without wearing it. Okay? Then you're going to have these checkpoints. And then something about when people go back to work, there was a proposal that to go back to work, you'd have to get there early. They take your temperature in the morning when you start your shift. And if you're okay, you go. And at lunchtime, they take your temperature again and make sure you don't have a fever or any of the signs. And then in the evening when you leave, you have to do this to leave work. That was one proposal. If they're going to do that, I don't know. Okay? And what happens if someone is sick with something else other than the coronavirus, which causes a fever? Okay? Now, I've heard that people have lost their jobs. They've laid off a whole bunch of people in the medical industry. A lot of people are hurting, and the economy's collapsing around us. And now they're putting more controls, more difficulty, and even though they're opening the economy and people go to these stores, it's like Walmart, there's only so many in there. you know, a lot of the other stores that aren't that big, I forget. One convenience store says no more than 8 people in the store at one time. And really, there's nobody in there counting. I mean, you know, now you got to have another employee that all he does is stand by the door and monitor who comes in and out. I know at Walmart, they have an employee there with a tablet. When we go in, I guess they hit it, and then when we leave, they're punching something in to the tablet. And Walmart is cool. They kind of had it all sealed up. The superstore usually has 2 entrances. They had them sealed up, one sealed up, and we all had to go through. Well, now they let you in both doors, and it's not as restrictive, which is nice. That's why I'll still shop there. I don't know if they've gotten to the point where you have to wear a mask in there. But a lot of places do. And the post office is tough because they're covered by federal laws. You can't give them people any crap, any of the employees. You can't argue with them or give them, because it's a federal offense. Okay, so that's kind of tough there. So now, as we see how this is proceeding, the protests are more frequent. They're all over the country. They're not just here in North Carolina. They're all over the United States. People are fed up. People have had enough. And it seems that they're implementing this plan of regulation and control. It's going to be permanent. This isn't going to go away. This isn't going to change. If you leave your house, you're going to have to wear a mask. They're already setting up a system to monitor the movement of citizens. Okay, under the pretext, okay, you're ill or you're carrying an illness, so now we're going to watch everything you do. Everyone that you come into contact with is going to be watched, observed, and tracked. And, you know, your whereabouts, what you're doing and everything. It's pretty frightening. And then, of course, I got out of the post office, I'm pissed off, I'm driving down there, and then they had it on the radio. I heard it twice because I was out working in the garage. I had the radio on. And they tell you, during these times, stay at home. Even though the virus has peaked, stay at home. Only associate with your core family. Do not go outside. Do not go within the close proximity of other people. What the hell is this? I heard it on TV 2 or 3 times last night. I heard it on the radio. They're telling you not to be in contact with nobody. I mean, that's impossible. What about churches? What about your friends, your neighbors? Okay? I don't understand this. And this is all done, I guess, by the health department or whoever hell's broadcasting this. I have no idea. But it's not good. And it's really now it's getting scary. You know, we're all waiting for this stay-at-home shit to be lifted at the end of the week. And nobody knows what's going to happen afterwards. They're going to say, yeah, you could go out as long as you wear a hazmat suit and breathe, you know, a bottled air or something. I mean, it's not going to help. And I don't see this going, it's going to get worse. Then once they get these test kits out, I guarantee you there are going to be places where you will be stopped and you will be tested, whether you want it or not. That camera thing, it's got you there. That's something they can just put up somewhere. You walk past it and it hits you. There ain't nothing you can do then. Okay? They're going to detain you. And the thing is, under the guise that you are a threat to the general public because of this pandemic. You are a threat. Whether you like it or not, if you have a fever or you're not wearing a mask, you are now going to be up there, terrorist, you know, what was it? Public enemy number 1 and all this other stuff, okay? So, we're going to sit down and see what happens here in the next week or two. I guess the end of the week, they're going to lift this restriction and see how this develops over time, but it ain't looking good.